Kia ora and welcome back. My name's Zoe Stebe, your vocal coach for today, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can use my absolutely favorite singing software, Sing and See, to improve your pitching, your intonation, and all the other things that this fantastic app for your computer can do. So let's get straight to it. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty of Sing and See, we need to talk about what is Sing and See. Well, it does what it says on the packet. It is a program for your computer. It's available in Windows and available for Mac. Within the program itself, there is a keyboard at the top, as you can see here, and you can play the notes on the keyboard and then sing them back and double check that what you're singing is the same note that you are playing. With Sing and See, there are two options available. There is the student version of the software and there is the professional version of the software. But I'm going to show you how you can work on your pitching and intonation by using the student or the free trial version of Sing and See software. So let's dive straight into it. We can't talk about pitching and intonation without realizing what those two things are. Now, pitch is actually the degree of highness or lowness of a given tone. And pitch is essentially the note that I am singing. So if I sing, I am singing a pitch. And if I sing above or a higher pitch, or I can sing a lower pitch. I just took random ones there. So pitch is the degree of highness or lowness of a tone. Now, when we're talking about intonation, we're talking about the accuracy of that pitch. So in any one given pitch, there is a degree above and below the note where we are still on the pitch, but it then doesn't sound right. It's then what we would call out of tune. You're not singing a different note, you're just not singing in the middle of that one particular note. And this is where Sing and See absolutely shines, because you have a red line showing the middle of the note or the pitch that you are going to be singing. That leads us directly into Sing and See. As you can see here, see, and you can see at the very top here, there is a keyboard available for us. It's got the notes written on it so that we have the reference to what we are trying to sing. This doesn't mean though that you have to be able to read sheet music. It's just showing you that those are the notes, and this is what the piano keyboard looks like. So just like I've got here on my keyboard, or my electric piano, if you could, if I'm being really fancy about it, that is exactly the way that it looks up here on the screen. Now, we've got a couple of different things that we need to look at. First, we have what the note looks like on sheet music here on the left-hand side. It's not too important that you know what it's called, but just for your, pub quiz information, this is called the stave. So what we've got here is at the top, we've got the treble clef with the bass clef here. Now, for female voices or for higher voices, we tend to sing in the treble clef. And for male voices or for lower voices, we tend to sing in the bass clef. Now, I say for male voices and or lower voices because, for example, Lana Del Rey, Summertime Sadness, that begins in the bass clef and moves into the treble clef, because otherwise you'd have loads and loads and loads of lines because she sings incredibly low. So this is to create economy within the music and to help us so that we don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and count how many lines below the stave we are looking at. What we've got up here at the top above the keyboard is we've got the record button, stop, and play. Now that seems self-explanatory. What we're going to do when you would like the program to start recording what you're going to be doing, you're going to push the record button. And then as soon as you start creating sound, the program will start picking up those pitches, and you can see that now it's going a bit crazy because I'm speaking. Now, there's a lot of information here on this screen right now, and you can see this green scale going up and down here on the side. This is volume, okay? So for the moment, we're going to be ignoring the volume because I don't think that it's important when you're thinking about practicing your pitching and intonations. How can you use sing and see to improve your pitching and intonation? I am a huge fan from the exercise singing on one note, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. You push the record so that it starts the program, and then you're going to choose a note. I like to start on A3, which is the A below middle C, because it's a really great starting place, usually in the lower part of the female range and the slightly higher part of the male range. Males, you can start on A2. Women, we can start on A3. If you're working with children or if you are a teenager, you could even start on D4 or E4. But have a go, find where your voice wants to be, and start on a comfortable note for you. So we're going to start, for the purpose of this exercise, on A3. Now, I played it a couple of times just so that the program can pick up on the note. And as you can see here, my A3, that's what I love about this software. You can see this red line is the line that we are aiming for. Now, when you notice these dips occurring, you can see that it dipped right down. That does not mean that all of a sudden I dipped down in my pitch or I was singing so out of tune. No, I think that it picked up on the fact that my dog is snoring here in my studio today, and it picked up on the note that she is snoring on. So when you are practicing your singing, make sure that you are in a quiet space where the program can really focus in on your singing. So we've played our A3, and now we're going to try and recreate that note. Let's remind ourselves. Now you can see there I sat slightly below the note and it was wiggling around quite a lot. Zoe, this exercise never gets too easy and I love it, but it does really show you where you need to be working on your pitching and intonation. Let's try it again. I definitely need to practice this exercise, but just for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep going. I would encourage you, if you are sitting below the note or if you are sitting below the note, to try it a couple of times until you reach the middle of the note. Let's try it again with the next one. And there you have it. You can go up the scale and then back down the scale if you choose. And I find this a great way for you to put in any note that you like, play a note on the program and try and recreate it. And that way you're going to be hearing the note, thinking the note, and then singing the note that you are hearing and thinking and trying to reproduce it. This program is fantastic because you can really see where is the middle and where you are actually moving on that one note. Now, we do have a living instrument, so don't expect the line to be 100% flat. It will wave around a little bit, but we are wanting to spend most of our time on that red line in the middle of the note. So how can you then start working on scales or arpeggios with the Sing and See software? If you're unable to play the arpeggio yourself within the software, so if you don't read sheet music or you're not really sure how the arpeggios go, then I suggest that you check out my freebie download in the description where I give you my favorite 5-note scale as well as my octave arpeggio scale, which I've specifically slowed down to be used with the Sing and See software. So for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to be trying an octave arpeggio. Now, an arpeggio is a broken chord. We're going to be taking the first note, the third note, the 5th note, and the 8th note of the scale for our arpeggio, singing up and then back down. Let's listen to it first with our Sing and See software. So you can see there a really common thing that happens within Sing and See. As it reached that octave, it dipped back down again. That doesn't mean that my computer's playing the wrong note. This is a computer program after all, and it isn't perfect, but we're going to be taking the base of what we're looking for, and we've got this here. Da, 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 da. I do recommend that you try and sing it as quickly as possible, because that's another limitation of the Sing and See software, is that as soon as it has gone forward, you do lose the information that you have just had on the screen. So I'm going to try and sing that back again. So I can only scroll back as far as I have recorded on any one time, and I can play that back again. So you need to make sure that you push stop on the track after each arpeggio so that you can sing it back into Sing and See. Let's do it. Okay, now we tried it. We're going to go looking back to see how accurate we were. There is the one that I did. I said, Obviously, this is, again, one of the limitations. You can see there it spiked up. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden I sang on a different note. But what you could be looking for here is the tendency to scoop up to the note. You might notice those things that I didn't actually hit that top note right bang on the middle of the pitch, whereas I should have. So what you're going to be doing is each individual exercise, you're going to be pushing record on Sing and See, pushing play on your exercise, letting Sing and See listen to it for the first time, and then you're going to be stopping the exercise and singing back into the Sing and See software. Now, this is where Sing and See is really, really cool because, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. We can then push play and we can hear back what we just played. But what you can do there is you can play it once, listen back to it again. And if you're saying, okay, that wasn't too bad, then you can go up here into the top and you can see this little floppy disk symbol, save. You can then save this on your desktop. I'm going to call it arpeggio. And I can save it then as a WAV file for future reference. Now, this is a really cool thing because it means you can sing entire songs into the software. You can then play it back, take note of your pitching, and see where you're going below the note. But then you do really need to be able to read music at that point. So I'll put a cheat sheet for you in the description. You don't have to read music perfectly, but just for some of the notes, it is a little bit helpful if you know whether you are hitting the right note or not. One of the really cool things about the Sing and See software is that you can change the length of time that it is recording for. So you can record your entire practice session if you like, and you go up here to options, record time, and I've got it set to 60 seconds, which isn't very long for a vocal warm-up, but you can set it to 8 minutes or 15 minutes, 30, even 60 minutes, so that you can really capture a longer period of time, practice, and then you don't have to keep on stopping and starting the entire time. And you can go back and analyze it after your practice session. So there's a really good look at Sing and See and how you can use it to practice your pitching and intonation. Personally, I have been using this program since I was 20 years old, and the fantastic owner and creator of Sing and See was a singing student of my singing teacher in Auckland, New Zealand. William is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, William, for creating such an amazing software. It is still my absolute favorite, most uncomplicated singing program for you to practice on. Now, Sing and See does come at a price point of 45 euros for the student version of the program or 89 euros for the professional or teacher version of the program. Personally, I recommend that all of my singers do purchase the professional or the teacher version of the program because it just has so much more information packed into it. I'll go into what the differences are and how you can work with the professional version of Sing and See in another video. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me here today. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you around here more often. You can use some of my exercises available here if you're looking to practice your pitching and intonation. I have an entire playlist dedicated to Warm Up Wednesday, where I really take you through all of the exercises that you might come across in your singing lessons, how you can execute them, and what you need to be looking out for your technique. But I want to say, thank you so much for joining me. Happy practicing, happy singing, and ka kite anō.